Hey, what's going on, YouTube? I hope everyone's enjoying their SAT test practice, which I know is impossible. But anyway, I'm trying something new here. I'm going to do online tutoring. I'm doing it through YouTube right now. I'm just going to pick some questions to go over. This is like a first time dry run. And hopefully you guys will see the channel, see it go live, and then you can actually pop in and you're going to see me doing test problems for the new SAT. So just to let you know, I'm going to be doing this book. This is the new College Board Blue Book, I guess, or Aquamarine book, whatever you want to call it. It's got 4 tests in there. I'm going to go through it. So if you don't have this book, what you can do is you can actually, I put the link here, but I'll show you on the side of the screen here. Let me just switch over. That you can go online and you can check this out at the SAT College Readiness or the SAT website. And I'll put that over here just to let you guys see what that looks like. If you go into Google and type in, full or full-length SATs, you should get to this site. It's collegereadiness.collegeboard.org. Oh, that's where you're going, College Board. I totally messed that up. collegereadiness.collegeboard.org/SAT/practice/full-length practice tests. But again, if you just Google this stuff, if you just go on Google and type this in, you're going to find all this stuff is completely free. It's a great way to practice. And they're authentic SAT problems from the College Board. So what I'm going to try and do today is just go through a few problems. I got the chat going on the SAT channel, so hopefully at some point we'll get some people in the room. Okay, let's see. I'm sitting here trying to see if anyone's watching. You guys could type in. This is all new for me, so I'm trying this something completely new. But I picked some SAT problems to go through, and you guys can probably check it out and follow along with me. So what I'm going to do is, for the first couple practice problems, I'm going to go to test number 3 in this book, okay? And if you don't have that, look in the link in the window. I put a link in there to that those tests I just showed you. Download test 3 and download test 4, and we'll check it out. So what I'm going to do is, I already got it ready up on the screen. I'll give you a second. I know some people have asked me before to kind of talk about myself, which usually I don't do, but basically I used to be a math teacher. I taught in Connecticut. I taught high school math. I used to teach at Kaplan for a long time. Then I tutored on my own for the SAT. And it's just something I kind of do in my spare time and I have a little fun with. And I'm kind of getting tired of doing those videos that I upload. So I want to try and do something where I just make videos and post them straight to you guys. So we'll try it out. So we're going to go to practice test 3. Let me grab the screen here and I'll write it up. Let's do this. I'm going to switch it over to here so you guys can see the actual question. All right, cool. So it's actually working here. Let me do this. Let me move it down a little bit. And what I'll do is I'll write down the question that's there. So right now, let me not screw this up. Okay, so this is, let me get my pen ready here. All right, this is kind of cool. The fact this is actually is working. You'll let me know if this is actually helpful or not. I have no idea. And if anyone's watching, I could just be talking to dead air here. So, all right, so this is question number 3 in the SAT book. It is, practice test 3, section 3, number 16. So I'll write that here. This is practice test 3, practice test number 3, and this is section 3, okay, and this is number 16, as you can see right there. So I actually thought this question was kind of tough. At first glance, it looks a little intimidating or confusing. It says, x cubed times x squared minus 5 equals negative 4x. If x is greater than 0, what is one possible solution to the equation above? All right, so if you've ever tutored with me, you know I'm not a huge fan of doing everything the most complicated way, right? So let me just flip back to me for a second. You don't want to overthink things. You don't want to sit there looking at the problem, staring at the problem, and panicking and thinking, oh God, what am I going to do? If I see a problem like this, I might just tell you, start picking numbers. Why is that such a bad strategy? A right answer is a right answer. So they just tell you that x is greater than 0, right? So what's the first number greater than 0? Just try 1. So let's try x equals 1. So 1 cubed is 1. What is 1 squared is 1 minus 5 equals negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. So that's just going to be 1 times negative 4, which equals negative 4, right? 1 times negative 4, so it's just negative 4 equals negative 4. And it's kind of shocking that we were able to get that question right that easy or that fast just by picking x equals 1. Now, for all you people out there who like, all right, show me the algebraic way to do it, I can show you how to do that too. This way, basically all you're going to do is, so let me get rid of this. So for the algebraic way, you're going to distribute here. You're going to distribute that into there and that into there. Wow, those arrows stunk. All right, so you're going to get, what's x cubed times x squared? That's x to the 5th. X cubed times negative 5, that's going to be negative 5x cubed. Sorry if I'm taking this slow. I'm just trying to write for the first time using this stuff and stream it. It's a lot of stuff to do at one time. And negative 4x is over there. So what I can do is I can swing over this negative 4x and add 4x to both sides. Add 4x to both sides. And again, I'm showing you the long way. X to the 5th minus 5x cubed plus 4x equals 0. Okay. So now, what are you guys going to do in this situation? Well, I don't like the fact that there's x's are everywhere in each one of these. So they all share an x though. So what can I do? What can I pull out? Well, I can pull out an x. So let's do that. So it's x now to the 4th minus 5x squared plus 4. And the whole thing's still equal to 0, right? So now I'm concerned with this junk in the middle, this x to the 4th minus 5x squared plus 4. I'm going to deal with that, and let me see if I got space here. I'm just going to write it right up here, and bear with me, this is all new for me. So I'm going to deal with this middle piece up there. So I have to factor that middle piece, and you guys should be able to do that. If I double bubble it, right, make my, well, I'm running out of room here. All right, hold on. I'm going to do it on the top here because I got to figure out how I'm going to work this pen and do all this stuff. Make my double butt cheeks, right? So I'm going to put x squared on both of them, right? Because x squared times x squared gives me x to the 4th. How do I make a 4 but have a negative 5 on the inside? Well, I'm probably going to have a 4 and a 1 here, right? If this is a positive 4 and negatives on the inside, I'm going to need negatives. So all of that right here is what's down here. Sorry for the space and the issue, but the next step, you can double bubble these again. So x plus 1, x minus 1, right? X plus 2, x minus 2, right? And what was over here? The x is still over there. Don't forget that. So now, that whole thing's equal to 0, right? Still equal to 0. So again, this is a long way, but here are your only answers. So you got to take the opposite, right? X is negative 1, x is 1, x is negative 2, x is 2. So actually your final answers of x could have been 1 or x could have been 2. All right. So now, again, was that second way more complicated, and are you more of a better math student if you do that? Maybe, I don't know. You know, I mean, really, at the end of the day, who cares? As long as you get the answer right, that's really all anybody cares about. So that's one question where you can do it just picking numbers, just popping a number. You don't have to sit there all day and panic and think, oh, what's the smart technical way to do this? Just pick a number and plop it in. All right. So I'll take a look at a second question here. What page number? All right. Everustus Ezeki, my friend who's in the room here. This is, I'm going to respond to you. Practice test 3, section 3. We're going to do we're not going to do 17 because 17 looks kind of easy. We'll do number 18. All right. And let's see. Do you hear me, buddy? Hear me, buddy? I know, I feel like an old man when I'm... All right, cool. I felt like an old man when I'm like talking to myself and trying to do all this stuff at the same time. But I'm telling you guys, I give a lot of credit to people who do this and actually stream and do all these questions. Okay, let's look at 18. We're gonna go to that one. So let me go over here. Let me bring it up. Number 18. What did I do here? I already screwed up. Let's see. Trying to get it right now. Sorry, everybody. All right. Hopefully this works. Cool. I'm happy everyone's liking the channel. All right. Let me do this. Let me zoom out. Sorry if this is taking long. This will get better. It's my first time. Number 18. That's what we're doing here. So again, just look up the list. Number 18. We are two isosceles triangles are shown above, and they give you all this gobbledygook down here, right? So they tell you 180 minus z equals 2y, and y equals 75. What is the value of x? All right, so I would just start plugging things in, and hopefully you're doing this problem with me at the same time, right? So just plug in. If y is 75, put it in there. So what's 2 times 75? You should say 180, right? Let's not get the calculator out too quickly for everything. So that's going to be, or 180, I'm sorry. You said 75 times 2 is 150. Oops. 150. Yeah, maybe you get the calculator out, right? So what is z? Z's got to be 30. Let me write that over here, just because, again, I'm running out of space. So z is 30. So that means that angle right there is 30 degrees. So one of the key things that they told you here, and I'm going to use another color, is that these triangles are isosceles, right? And they tell you that right here with those 2 tick marks. There's 2 and there's 2, all right? So what does that tell you? It tells you that this angle is equal to this one, okay? So how do I figure out what they are? You're just going to write 180, okay, 180. Sorry if this is green. Minus the 30 degrees, right? Because that's what's left. So we have 150 degrees left, all right? And that means that out of 150 degrees left, we just divide it in 2. Divide by 2. So each one of those angles is 75. And there might have been a quicker way to do this. I'm kind of shooting off the hip here. And if there is, let me know. That's 75 right there. And that little one in there, that's also 75. Sorry, the screen's getting a little junked up. So let me just do this. I'm just going to erase that. Sorry. So we found out that that one's 75. And we found out that that one's 75, right? Okay. So how do I figure out the one over here? Well, it's just 180 minus 75, right? Because we have, what do they call that? I forgot what the name of it is. But basically, when you have this situation, what is it? Not a transversal, I forget. I'll draw it like this, though, right? You should know this in school. They give you something like this, right? And they tell you which one was 75. This one's 75. Well, what is this one going to be? Well, the whole thing is 180, right? It's 180 degrees. So the remainder there, that's 105. And that's your answer. You can check it. You can look it up in the book, but it's back there. All right, so let me just take a look. I'm going to answer some questions here, and I know you guys are writing some stuff here. And let me go back here. Give me a second. I'm going to clear that out. Let me go back here. I'm screwing things up. All right. Let's see. All right, so you guys got some questions, huh? Let's see. Youssef, what is the best way to improve your SAT score? Should I just do practice problems and watch videos like these, or should I go to a private tutor, which is really expensive? That's a really good question. Honestly, when I studied for the SAT, you got to remember, I took my SAT in like 1999, 2000. It was the old format, then it changed. Now it's back to the old format again. I took test takers back in the day. I really like them. I work for Kaplan. I think all these companies are great. However you can get, I find that high school students sometimes need to be in classes to get motivated. They need to see people around them. They need to see other kids working hard, and that ups their game. So I think the bigger question is not how do you raise your score, or how do I get the information, but what environment do you need so that you work your butt off? You know what I'm saying, Yusef? So like, are you the type of student and the type of kid that will sit at home and crack this book open every single day and do 30, 40 problems? Or are you going to be on your cell phone wasting time doing other stuff? So honestly, I think you should start there. If you feel like you need to be in a classroom to motivate yourself, maybe not with your friends, so you're not, messing around. If you don't have to be in a class and you think you can work just as hard, I would just say get this book, watch some videos, maybe get like some of these books comes with like a DVD, like a training program. But it's kind of a tough question to answer because a lot of students are different. I find a lot of students don't really study that well on their own. They need something to get them out of the house. So hopefully that answers your question. How often do I do live streams? Honestly, I don't really. This is the first one. So this is my first live stream. All right. So hopefully I can turn it into something cool and figure out how, I can make some money off this. I do like helping people, but this stuff takes a lot of time. So I got to figure out eventually, like, is this something that can make money, or is it just something that I'm just giving away my services for free? All right, cool. And if you guys have tips for each other or like good websites and stuff, just pop them into the video. And you can always do that. Okay, so let's do another problem because I feel like I wasted enough time. Not wasted, but I want to talk to you about strategies and stuff, but also like, you asked about how do you raise your score? Do problems, do a ton of problems. So let's do section 3, let's go to number 19. All right, so we'll go back here. Let me just get the problem all squared up. 17 I thought was a little easy. I don't know if you need my help doing 17. 19. So I don't know if you guys know, but systems of equations is a huge topic on the new SAT, and being able to convert from words to equations and equations to words is a skill. It's like almost like a language. Sorry, I'm like probably making some of you guys dizzy over here with this. But number 19, I'll give you a second, take a look at it, read it. I'm just going to get everything set up. See if you can do this problem. Yeah, so everyone just take a second. All right, so at a lunch stand, each hamburger has 50 more calories than each order of fries. If 2 hamburgers and 3 orders of fries have a total of 1,700 calories, how many calories does a hamburger have? So first thing I notice when I see a problem like this is that, let me get my pen ready. I like to write down what the variables are. So each hamburger has 50 more calories than fries. So I'm going to start with fries. So fries, I'm going to call X. That's how many calories there are. And hamburgers, I'll just write ham because we're not, we got to save time on the test. Hamburgers is 50 more. So what's 50 more than X? X plus 50. Let's not make it too complicated. So now we got to just use our information and pop it into the problem. 2 hamburgers. 2, what do we have for hamburgers? X plus 50. All right, boom. 2 hamburgers and 3 orders of fries plus 3 orders of fries. Well, fries are just X. Have a total of 1,700. Hopefully I haven't lost anybody yet. So what do you do now? If you're at home, you're seeing this part, what do? You just multiply, you distribute, right? So that's 2x plus 100 plus 3x equals 1,700. 2x and 3x gives you 5x plus 100. And again, I write this over again on the SAT. You may be flying through this because you got to save time, right? But when I tutor you guys, I try to write everything out just so you see how I think. All right, let me shut up. I'm talking too much. So 5x equals 1,600. And I think this was a calculator section. Oh no, this isn't. Is this a calculator section? It's not. All right. So you got to do it by hand. So it's like, oh dear God, how do you do that by hand again, right? So 5 into 1,600. Well, 5 into 16. 5 into 16 is 3. 15. 100. 5 into 100 is 20. Okay. So can you see that on the screen there? 320. So here's the only problem. We found out x equals 320. What is x? X is fries. So you're not done. You want to know how many hamburgers they have, right? So this is where the problems get tricky. Always check, what are you actually trying to find? We want hamburgers. So we just got to add 50 to it. 320 plus 50 is 370. That's it. You're done. 370 is the answer. You can check it, but that's what they got in the back. How does the stream look? How does stream look? Can you guys actually understand the problems and the writing and everything? I'm just curious. Trying to. It looks good. All right, awesome, cool, man. Good, good. I know. I have an old computer, so right now, when I look at it, I look choppy, and I'm hoping the text looks all right. All right, cool. Everyone good in that problem? All right, nice. Everyone seems to be good. Let's do. I don't know. Let's do number 20. Let's try that one. That's the next one in this section. I'm just trying to pick problems that are end of the section problems. I figure when you guys in practice, you don't need my help to practice the first 4 problems in the section. Like, what's the point of that? So I would say with me, and I start figuring out how to do these live casts, I'm just going to pick certain, end of the section questions and start there. So let's do number 20. I'm just going to line that up. Number 20. Okay. That one's lined up. In triangle ABC, the measure of angle B is 90, BC is 16, AC is 20. Triangle DEF is similar to triangle ABC. All right, so that's a big deal. Anytime you see similar, I would definitely underline that. Okay. The vertices DE and F correspond to A, B, and C respectively, and each side of the triangle DEF is a third a length of the corresponding side. This is a mouthful. You might want to read this over to yourself, because sometimes when I'm reading it, it can bug you out. But first thing I would do, if I was on test day like you guys, I would just draw 2 triangles. All right. Also, something you want to notice, these numbers should be alarming some of you. Why should that be waking you up, or alarm bells should be going off when you see that, those 2 numbers? Well, they're talking about right angles, right? Okay. Let's see. So there's one triangle, and I'll make the other one. Let's do, I don't know. Which one was the right angle? B? So A, B, C. And I'll do a different triangle. I don't know if this is the easy way. I'm just kind of I'm doing what I might do on test day, and let's do D, E, F. Let's put some numbers in. BC, let's see here. BC is 16. So BC is 16. AC is 20. Again, I'm going to go back. You should have alarm bells going off in your head. Why? Anytime you hear right triangles, you should be thinking of the ratio 3 to 4 to 5, right? And there's a 16 and a 20 here. Well, if I put those in those spots right there, 16 and 20, how did I get from a 3, 4, 5 to a what 16, 20? I multiplied by 4, right? Times 4. So what's 3 times 4? Is 12. That's how you know this one is 12. Don't do Pythagorean theorem, it takes too long. So now, it tells you that we have this other triangle that corresponds to it. Each side of the triangle DEF, each one is a third the length of the other ones. But I don't want to go in there and actually put a third. All right, so let's see. The length of what is the value of sine of F? So they want to know sine of F. Well, the good thing is that similar triangles, their angles are going to correspond. So you don't have to actually do any more work. You just have to look at the original equation or the original triangle, and those proportions are the same, right? Because we're talking about a triangle that either shifts in size, but the angles are all the same. So all we're going to do to find out the sine of F is to find out the sine of this one. And what is sine? Hopefully you guys should be saying SOHCAHTOA, right? Or so. which is opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite is 12 all over a hypotenuse, 20. And what does that reduce to? Divide by 4, so 3/5, right? I think 3/5 is your answer. Hopefully it is. 3/5 is should be your answer. All right. I don't know. What is it? What is this guy? So hopefully that's it. Someone's asking me about streaming to a Discord channel. I have no idea what that is. Probably email me and let me know if it's cool, because I would like to know if someone's restreaming my stuff. So who's this? 17th century? 17th century. You gotta remember, bro, I'm old. I don't know what the hell a Discord channel is. Discord channel. What is Discord channel? Yeah, I have no idea. Oh God, it's 1 a.m. and this guy's telling me it's 1 a.m. in Denmark. Let the stream stay up on your channel. Yeah, it's gonna stay up. So after the channel's done, it's just gonna stay up on the my YouTube page. So it'll be fine. All right, you guys want to do another problem? Let's do. All right, so I'm gonna fast forward to test number 4. So I'm just gonna tell you right now, everyone, turn to test number 4. All right. So test 4. Let me just flip back here. All right, cool. All right, so, geez, I got people from Saudi Arabia in the house, huh? We got Saudi Arabia, we got Denmark. That's cool, man. Yeah, 2 a.m. All right, at least just, hey, you're doing something productive at 2 a.m. All right, cool. Let's go to test 4. Let me flip there. And we're going to go to, let's see. Oh, were we in test 4? I don't know. Hold on. I'm getting confused now. Let's go to test 4. Okay, I found it. And again, if you guys want to figure out where to get this from, I put the link in the video. So let me pull it up over here. I'm going to go to test 4 and we're going to do number 17, section 3, number 17. All right, so let's do this. I'll write it down here. Test 4, section 3, number 17. All right. Yeah, you'll have to explain what the heck Discord is to me. I've never heard of it, but I'd be interested. Just email me. It's RadicalPrep@gmail.com. You can join and chat and talk with the community if you're. Oh, that's cool. All right, sounds interesting. All right, let me bring up. Let's do some problems here because I don't want to get lost in chatting too much. I want you guys to get something out of this. All right. Let us go to. Oh, I gotta go on the screen here. All right. So we're gonna do test 4. Test 4, section 3, number 17. All right. Test 4. Let me put it over here. This is number 7. Oh, not that 17. Section 3. We're gonna do section 3. There we go. All right, hopefully you can see that pretty well. All right, let me move this over a little bit. Number 17. I'll zoom in one more time. Still getting the hang of this. Sorry, it takes a little bit. Once I figure out how to do this perfectly, and maybe I'll take snapshots of all the, there we go. All right, so here's number 17. This is, sorry, I'm making you dizzy here. I'm just trying to move this up a little bit. All right, practice test 4, section 3, number 17. Let's try this one. Okay, now it's cut off. Let me move it over. Okay, I picked this one because I don't think it's that hard, but it could be one of those problems that you like spend time doing a lot of work for, and you should just know the quick little rule. This one says in the triangle above, the sine of x, so that's right here, sine of x is 0.6. So I'll write that down, but really on test day, you should be doing this in like 2 seconds. I'll show you how. So sorry, sine of x is 0.6. Another way of writing that, you can leave it as 0.6, or that's 6 over 10. Another way to write that is 3 over 5. They're all the same thing. It's just another way to think flexibly. So just a trick is that the sine of this angle, whatever it is, in this case it's x, is going to be equal to the cosine of that one. So you're basically done. It's kind of a stinky question. Like you can finish this pretty quickly. You don't have to put any numbers in there. You just got to know the trick. All right. So cosine of that one, it's still going to be 0.6 or 3/5, however you like writing it in on test day. Okay. So that's really it. That's all you got to know. So any triangle. Okay. Just know it's like a general rule when there's a right angle that the sine of this angle, sine of this one, is equal to the cosine of that one. And they're always the same number, right? Because watch, let's say I plugged it in real quick. We said the sine of x here was 0.6 or 3/5, so that's opposite over hypotenuse. Now go to this angle. What's the cosine? Well, cosine is adjacent, right? Ka, so ka toa, adjacent over hypotenuse. So that's 3/5. That's how you see it. That's it. You're done. Let's move on. You guys want to see a tough one? I think the tough one, or the tough one, the next one is a harder question. Let's just do 18. So this is what I tried to do for you guys. I just picked questions that were kind of in the same area. Yeah, the video is going to be available after the live stream. All right. Yes, yes, it will. Okay. All right, so let's check out this question. X cubed minus 5x squared plus 2x minus 10 equals 0. For what real value of x is the above equation true? Or is the equation above true? Now I'm just making things up. All right, so how the heck are you going to do this one? Unfortunately, remember I told you before, let me just give you a second. So remember I told you before, like picking numbers is great. Pick 1 or 2 or 3 and it always works. Well, unfortunately, this is one of those questions where if you tried to pick numbers, you might be screwed. All right, because if it worked before, it's not going to work exactly on this one. It would take some time. So now, how am I actually going to do this question? Well, I don't know about you, but no one likes factoring anything with the third power, right? And usually if they had all x's in there, I could tell you to factor out an x, but they don't. So what you want to see, which is really, it's hard to see or hard to notice, is that if you group these like this, and if you think about this problem as actually two different, I don't want to say equations, but expressions being added, it's a little bit easier. So let's do that. X cubed minus 5x squared, and then we'll do plus 2x minus 10. And the whole thing's equal to 0. And now what happens if I factor each one of those individually? Well, this one, let me fix that, has an x. So I'm going to pull it out. What's left? X squared minus, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. They both have an x squared. So there we go. I haven't figured out how to erase yet. So unfortunately, there's going to be a blob there. So that's x minus 5 plus, now they both have a 2. X minus 5. If anyone's asking where are we, what section, we're test 4, section 3, number 18. So now, they both have, now if you're seeing this, they both have this. So what are you going to do? If you're at home, what are you going to do? Pull it out. So x minus 5, that goes on the outside, and what's left here? You're going to use a different color. What's left? X squared and a 2. It's actually a plus 2. That's how we get plus 2. Equals 0. Now, we're still not done. How do you find the answer? Well, anytime, I think this is called like the zero identity. I'm not always sure like what the actual real mathematical thing is, but in school, what do you do when you set something equal, or you set both things are equal to zero? I kind of answered the question. You set each of these equal to zero. So x minus 5 equals 0. And what minus 5 gives you 0? It's just 5, right? So x equals 5. That's your answer to this question. 5 is your answer. What happens if you try and set this equal to 0? X squared plus 2 equals 0, minus 2, minus 2. What happens? X squared equals negative 2, and you're getting, what? Radical negative 1s. You're getting i's in there. It's not going to work. Okay? Someone asked me what happened to the other x minus 5. I pulled it out. All right? So you see here, I got a lot of colors going here, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this, but the same way if you have, I don't know, like if I did x times x minus 1 plus y times x minus 1. How do you factor that out? You pull out each expression. So if you're having problems like seeing what I just did, right, you pull out the x minus 1s, and what's left? You get x plus y. Right? That's an example. I'm just making something up here. This was made up. To show you, someone just asked, where'd the x minus 5 go? Where'd the x minus 5 go? Well, you pulled it out. It's right here. Sorry, maybe the colors are screwing things up. It looks like, yeah, it's like factoring. Yeah, exactly. All right. The colors on here are probably making the screen seem a little schizophrenic. Like I'm John Nash or something running around putting thumbtacks on boards. But yeah, so that's the problem. The answer is 5. So remember a second ago I told you, you're like, oh, like you can do this question by picking numbers, but on test day, you're not going to sit there, x equals 1, x equals 2, x equals 3, x equals 4, x equals 5. That's a pain in the ass. Like sometimes you just don't want to do that. So let's do number 19, same test. So again, this is test 4, section 3, number 19. And you'll have to forgive me if I'm talking fast or like I'm a little nervous. Again, this is the first time I'm doing this. A lot of things to take care of, but hopefully this stuff helps you. You guys will let me know how it's going. Okay, last one that I think I got to go after that because I've been doing this for like 30-something minutes and just wanted to give it a try. All right. I don't know. 19. So let's see. Okay. Let me just move this over a little bit. Okay. 19. Systems of equations. So I don't know, just so you guys like, if you take, I'll probably end up maybe doing a thing on systems of equations, and I'll make that a lesson at some point. But as you can see, I've maybe done 6 problems with you so far, and again, I picked them out, but it was pretty easy to find systems of equations problems. So sometimes they'll come in the form of there's words, and you need to translate into equations. This time it's just 2 equations, and they're asking you to find a solution set, which just means, you know, where lines intersect. Sometimes they don't. They're parallel, or they can be parallel like this. So let's check out this problem. Systems of equation, number 19. You have one on the top there, one on the bottom. And what I would say to do is, there's a bunch of ways to solve these, but the best way is not to solve for either x or y. You just want to eliminate. So you want to either add or subtract the equations, and the first thing you want to do is get one of those numbers equal to one on the bottom. So I see this negative 3x, and I go, ooh, okay, get excited, let's multiply by 2. So we get negative 6x plus 8y equals 40. The bottom stays the same, 6x plus 3y equals 15. Now what am I going to do? I want to add these 2 equations. So let's add the whole things. Boom, boom. Negative 6x plus 6x, boom, crosses out. 8y plus 3y, 11y. 40 plus 15, which is 55. All right. So then y equals 5. Nice, right? Are you done? Yeah, I'm done. No, you're not done. Shut up. All right, don't you dare go and grid that in on test day. Because what does it want? I'm going to use colors again. Ooh, so much fun. What does it want? It wants X. What do? We found Y. You got to be careful. All right, so we go back and plug in. If Y is 5, it doesn't matter which equation you plug into, just plug into one of them. So that's going to be, already here, 6x plus 3 times 5 is 15 equals 15. Well, I can minus the 15s from both sides, minus the 15s, they cancel out, and we get 6x equals 0. So anything, 6 times what gives you 0? X equals 0. And you're done. All right. Cool. So that's it. I'm going to clear that out. I'm going to go back here. So I'll just take a second. I'm going to figure out how to do live streaming and do more of this in the future. And I'll probably set a day, maybe like do Tutor Tuesdays or something like that, where I'll be like Tuesdays at 6 or Tuesdays at 7. And we'll just kind of go from there. Why did I multiply by 2? I'm just seeing this right now. Sorry, I'm trying to recap and I'm seeing some of these. I multiplied by 2 so I could cross out the top equation and the bottom equation, all right? So you go back, look at the video after it saves. Just look right here. You have none of the terms that are the same. So I multiplied the whole thing by 2. You got to pick a number that allows you to cross out both equations. So that gives you a negative 6x and a 6x here. So I added them. All right, but I would review that again. And if you need more help, email me. Maybe I'll be able to tutor you. Listen, nothing's free in this world, all right? This is probably about the only free thing you're going to get. I can't do this all the time, but I promise you I will try to do some of these live casts or podcasts just to answer your questions and interact with you guys and see what are the things that are giving you problems. My email is radicalprep@gmail.com. I'm going to see about getting my website back up, but right now it's just best I can do when you're working. I'm a full-time nurse. I work in a cardiothoracic ICU, so while I'm doing that, tutoring is kind of falling at the wayside. But you know, I saw that live streaming came up, so I decided to do that. But yeah, so keep studying. You can email me, radicalprep@gmail.com. Hopefully this was helpful, and let me know how this went, how it looked, and then that's pretty much it. So I'll say my goodbyes, but take care, guys. Good studying, good luck to you, and I'll talk to you soon.